Hey class, I'm Mr Thornton, and this is a GCSE top grade top up for higher tier. This lesson, Meiosis. This topic was suggested by Ashen Page, Zara Malik, Nathasia Bianca, Taslim Razak, Jessica Sykes, Maddie Morris and Hannah Smith. Thanks guys. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover, then just leave a comment below. Before you watch this video, it's important that you're familiar with the fundamental concepts of inheritance. So you can either click these two links here, or if you check the description, the links to both of those videos will be there as well. Now, some of the key knowledge which is unique just to the higher tier is some key words and some key fundamental concepts. Firstly, that genes, remember these are parts of our DNA that code for specific characteristics. Genes tell certain amino acids to be produced. They give the information to allow certain amino acids to be produced, which allows certain proteins to be produced. That's how it is that our DNA manages to give us characteristics, by giving the instructions to allow these amino acids to be constructed in the first place, and from those amino acids, then more complex proteins can be made. You also need to be familiar with 4 key words and how to use them. So firstly, you need to understand the words homozygous and heterozygous. Now this refers to the alleles which an organism gets from its mother and from its father. Let's focus on the example from the foundation tier video of cystic fibrosis. If we go back to the Punnett square representing how cystic fibrosis can be inherited, you can see that we get pairs of alleles in all 4 possible outcomes. If the 2 alleles in a pair match, then we say it is homozygous. If the 2 pairs don't match, then we say it's heterozygous. So these ones are all homozygous, and these ones are heterozygous. This is all that homozygous and heterozygous means. It just means whether the 2 in the pair match or whether they don't match. You also need to be aware of the terms genotype and phenotype. Genotype is what the genetic information actually is. What pair of alleles has that particular organism inherited? Has it inherited 2 dominant alleles? Has it inherited a dominant and a recessive allele? Has it inherited 2 recessive alleles? That's the genotype. The phenotype's a bit simpler. The phenotype is just which characteristic is expressed. Which characteristic can you observe directly? So think about hair colour. Dark hair colours are dominant usually, and something like red hair is recessive. So someone could have a recessive red hair gene and a dominant dark hair gene, and so the genotype would be that they've got the dominant dark hair gene and the recessive red hair gene, but the phenotype, what you can see, is simply that they've got dark hair. So genotype is what the genetic information is, phenotype is what you can actually see. A more technical way to put that is that the phenotype is the observable characteristics of that organism, and you need to be aware that it's often determined by just 1 dominant allele out of a pair. Finally, for higher tier, you need a deeper understanding of the process of meiosis, which forms the gametes, the sperm cells and the egg cells in the testes and the ovaries respectively. Now all of these cells start out as a cell with a normal number of chromosomes, with 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs. But then the cell divides in a really unusual way. This is what meiosis is. Firstly, the chromosomes within that cell copy themselves. And then similar chromosomes pair up and they swap sections of DNA. Next, those chromosome pairs divide and the cell itself divides. And so you're left with 2 cells, each of which has 46 chromosomes. The next step is the crucial one, because unlike in mitosis, in meiosis, these 2 cells then divide again, only this time they don't copy the chromosomes. So the chromosomes are divided again. The 46 chromosomes are divided into 23 and 23. And so you end up with 4 cells, and each one of those 4 cells has 23 chromosomes. Each one of them is now a gamete. So again, the genetic information is copied, then the cell divides, and then it divides again. That's the crucial step, and you're left with 4 gametes, each of which has 23 chromosomes. If questions on any of these concepts come up, they're likely to come up in one of a few ways. Firstly, they're pretty likely to expect you to be able to complete a diagram showing a monohybrid cross. They're also likely to give you an opportunity to do a longer piece of writing, maybe a 3 or 4 mark question, or perhaps even a 6 mark question, where they'll be expecting you to be able to use words like heterozygous, homozygous, phenotype and genotype. If you haven't used those words anywhere on a higher tier paper, have a look back at the questions about inheritance, because you were probably supposed to get them in there somewhere. Keep an eye out for things like that, particularly those key words which they expect you to know. It could get you an extra couple of marks here and there. I hope that video really helps you. If you want to check how well you understood, then try the snap quiz. The link is right here, and it'll also be in the description, along with all the other links for this video. If you want to check out my other videos, then click right here. If you want to download the free app I've made to help you with your revision, then you can click right here. If you want to subscribe to my channel, then you can click right here. Don't forget to leave likes, and if you go to the comments, you can give me feedback and let me know which topics you'd like me to cover next. Good luck in your GCSEs everyone, and thanks very much for watching.